Welcome to Tech Topics. My name is Stephanie, and I'm an assistive technology and activity specialist with Future Insight. I hope that you'll like this video and subscribe to us, as well as check back frequently for more content. Today is all about making some fonts and styles and different changes in Microsoft Word using Microsoft Windows key commands. So, in other words, whether you have limited or low vision all the way to no vision, these keyboard commands will work for you. You might be using a mouse for most of your work, but sometimes you might find that you have eye fatigue or eye strain, and you would just like to find some key commands to be more efficient than trying to navigate with the mouse. They can be quicker sometimes too. And if you're using JAWS and VDA or Windows Narrator, these screen readers will also work because these are Microsoft Windows key commands. They're going to work for your Windows 10 or Windows 11 computer. So let's dig in. We're going to talk about how to make some fonts and style changes in a document in Word, as well as making some bullets and numbered lists and things like that. So I have a document here up that I created it through ChatGPT, which can be another topic at another time, but I gave it the basic storyline about Mr. Pickles. All right, so I'm going to let you hear the whole story first. It's just a couple of paragraphs, because that way we can talk more about how we're going to work with this document.
Volume up.
All right, I'm going to play the whole thing, and you can also follow along visually.
Mr. Pickles was a cheerful fellow who loved pickles so much that he ate them with everything on pizza, in cereal, even with ice cream and pancakes. His friends chuckled at his devotion, but one day, something strange happened: he began to turn green and bumpy, slowly taking on the look of a pickle himself. Alarmed, yet still craving pickles, Mr. Pickles wandered toward the local pickle factory, thinking it might be the perfect place for him. But when the workers spotted him, they mistook him for an especially large cucumber, ready to be canned. Just as things were looking sour, along came Mrs. Tomato, round, red, and delightfully plump. She saw through the briny disguise and recognized Mr. Pickles for the kind-hearted man he truly was. With a smile, she whisked him away from the factory and brought him home. The two soon fell in love, and today, they are happily married. Creating beautiful salads together proved that even the strangest pairings can make the perfect match.
All right, so that's the little story. We like to be entertaining as well as learn. So it's all about Mr. Pickles. We're going to begin with, how do we know really what we're dealing with? What types of fonts or styles are happening here? And one of the Microsoft key commands you can do is an insert F to figure out where, what is happening for fonts and formatting. So insert key plus F, the letter F. I'm going to do that now.
12 point. Black on white. Times New Roman. Normal style. Line spacing: double. Paragraph formatting: first line indented by 0.5 inches. Aligned left. Outline level: body text.
All right, we learned a lot of things, right? Everything from it's in 12, font size, it's black on white, it's the style is Times New Roman, things like that. It's double spaced, etc. So the first thing we might want to do is, I like to always finish the creation before we make major font and style changes, okay? So you want to finish what you're typing first. So again, you could go into Word, to a blank document, hit the Windows key, then it brings up a search field. You can type in any application on your computer you wish. You would type Word, it would auto-populate. When you see Word or hear it, you're going to press Enter, and you can get to a blank document by pressing Enter again, and then you could start your letter or your story or whatever it is you wish to create. And everybody has different approaches, and I will preface this by saying there are more than one ways to do things when it comes to editing and working with your computer and technology. So there's more than one way to do things. And if you already know a way that works for you, that works great. That's fabulous. So here are just some ways that I might do things, which could help you as well. Okay, so we're going to, we want to create first. Now I've created this story through ChatGPT, but let's do a little editing, finish creating it. It doesn't have a title, first of all, so we got to give it a title. So I'm going to go to the top, and to go to the very top of your document, you press Control plus the Home key. And I'll do that now.
Top, blank.
You're going to notice some themes when you start watching a lot of my tech topics, all about the Microsoft Windows key commands, that some of these commands will feel familiar across applications. So this is one of them. To go to the very top of the document, you do a Control Home. That's true whether you want to go to the top of a web page or the top of an email, etc. And if you want to go to the very bottom, you could do a Control End. So you press Control, hold it down, and press the End key, and then release. I'll do that now for demonstration.
Bottom, blank.
And then I'm going to go back to the top, Control plus the Home key at the same time.
Top, blank.
Okay, those I like to call universal Microsoft key commands because they work in most any situation. So I'm at the top. I want to give this a title. Oh, it's all about Mr. Pickles. Let's call it Mr. Pickles is in a pickle. All right, so Mr.
Space P-I-C-K-L-E.
All right, so I gave it a title.
Blank.
All right.
Mr. Pickles is in a pickle.
So you really want to check out the tech topic tutorial on basic navigation with Microsoft key commands, because that is going to tell you how you can navigate around a document, but briefly, quickly. Arrow to the right, you move ahead by character. Arrow to the left, previous character. If you press Control plus right arrow, you're going to navigate ahead by word. Control plus left arrow, you're going to go backwards, previous word by word. Arrowing down will bring you to next line, moving ahead. Arrowing up will go to previous line, moving backwards. If you need to move ahead page by page, Control page down will go to the next page and the next page. Control plus page up will go to previous page, and so on. So I wanted to say all that because that is in the tech topic about navigating basic, Word documents, etc., using your Microsoft Windows key commands. All right, so we will be using some of that today, so you might need to refer to that. All right, so now we have a title. Maybe we want to use, I wanted to teach you some bulleted lists. All right, so I'm going to arrow down to
blank.
What Mr. Pickles likes with his pickles.
Blank. Mr. Pickles was a cheerful fellow who loved pickles so much that he ate them with everything on pizza, in cereal.
All right, he ate them with everything. Now let's make a list and then make it a bulleted list. So we're going to go to, he ate them with
ice, with
going to go backwards,
comma, cereal, in, comma, pizza, on, M dash, everything.
All right, everything.
M dash, on, M dash, O.
And we're going to just press
Oscar.
Enter. And now we have our first item.
On pizza.
On
in
pizza.
Cereal, pizza, comma.
Let's get rid of the comma. I'm going to backspace off that.
Comma. Enter.
And then I've got
on pizza. In cereal.
In cereal. I'm going to go to the end of cereal.
Cereal. Comma. Space.
I'm going to delete the comma.
Comma.
Arrow right. I'm going to hit enter to move this next item down a line.
Enter. In cereal, even with ice cream and pancakes.
All right, even with ice cream.
Ice cream. M space A N D space.
I'm going to get rid of the word and.
D N A space P.
And I'm going to press enter at the beginning of pancakes to move that down a line.
Enter. Even with ice cream, pancakes. His
Okay.
friends chuckled. Period. His. Period.
We don't need that period.
Space. Period. S. Space. H.
And we'll just move that next
Hotel.
sentence. We're going to move this the sentence that begins with his, down a line by hitting enter.
Enter.
All right. So now we have sort of a list here. I'm going to arrow up.
Pancakes. Even with in cereal, on pizza. Everything.
Okay. Says.
Mr. Pickles was a cheerful fellow who loved pickles so much that he ate them with everything.
And now we have our list.
On pizza. In cereal. Even with ice cream. Pancakes.
Okay. So now we're going to make it a bulleted list. So I'm going to, again, arrow up.
Even with on pizza. Everything. On pizza.
And I'm going to land on pizza because that's the first item. I'm going to make sure I'm at the beginning of that line. Now I have, one item in this list per line. I'm going to move my cursor to the beginning of on pizza. And to move to the beginning of a line, you press the home key by itself.
Home.
All right, now I'm going to select line by line, which is also in the basic navigation tech topic on navigating with basic key commands in Word. All right, so I'm going to shift arrow down because reading line by line is arrow down. If you add the shift arrow down, you're selecting or highlighting line by line. I'm going to do that.
Selected. On pizza. Selected. In cereal. Selected. Even with ice cream. Selected. Pancakes.
Okay, so I've selected all those items, and now I have two ways I could really do this. Well, really four ways, but I'm only going to share two easier ways. You can memorize the commands to do all these things. The ribbon, so you have an upper ribbon and a lower ribbon. The upper ribbon is like the categories, file, insert, view, draw, etc. The categories of what you could do in Microsoft Word. The lower ribbon are the things within that category, right? So if I was on insert, the lower ribbon would be insert a table, insert an image, insert a drawing, okay? But there's a lot. The ribbon is quite large, and there's a lot of memorizing to do if you're going to do it that way. However, some things you'll use a lot. I do use bulleted lists a lot and numbered lists a lot. So those are commands I might remember, Microsoft key commands that I might have instilled inside me because I do it so much. So let's try that with the first method of doing this. And that would be Alt-H to go to the home aspect of the upper ribbon. And then it just happens to be UL. Okay, so I'm going to do Alt-H.
Alt-A, upper ribbon, U. Bullets. Bullet library. None button selected.
Okay, now I'm in a bulleted library. None is selected, no bullets, but I can arrow now.
Bulleted. Solid circle button. 2 of 8.
So it even tells me there's 2 of 8, and this is a solid circle, 2 of 8. I have 8 choices. Now I know that. I could arrow to the right through them a little bit.
Bulleted. Hollow circle button. Bulleted. Solid square button. Cross button.
All right, but I'm going to arrow back to the solid circle.
Bulleted. Bulleted. Hollow circle. Bulleted. Solid circle button.
A lot of times I've seen people mainly use the solid circle or a hollow circle. Not that they never use anything else, but those are the common ones. So then you'd press enter, okay?
Enter. Bullets button.
All right, so now I'm just going to land back on this.
Ribbon. Screen Mr.
Oops, I went by it.
Mr. Pickles
There we
dash
go.
word. Leaving ribbons. Everything.
Okay,
Bullet on pizza. Entering list.
let's make sure we're still maximized.
Maximized.
There we go. All right,
Everything.
so here we
Exit
go.
list. Bullet on pizza. Bullet in cereal. Bullet even with ice cream. Bullet pancakes.
All right, so we learned how to make a bulleted list within our story. All right, now let's practice maybe the other way you could do this. I'm going to undo what my last task was, and you can do that with a Control-Z. And I'm going to take this away so I can show you the other method of doing a task such as adding bullets. So I'm going to do Control-Z, which think of it goes, back and forth, back and forth. You're scrubbing, you're erasing. So Control Z gets rid of the last task you did.
Undo. Selected.
All right.
On pizza in cereal.
Now I'm just going to let you hear that it's not there anymore. It's not bulleted.
Everything. On pizza. In cereal. Even with ice cream. Pancakes.
All right. It's no longer a bulleted list. Another way you could do this, let me select my text again.
Even with in cereal. On pizza.
Okay, I'm going to make sure I'm at the beginning of the line with a home key.
Home.
Shift arrow down to select the items.
Selected.
Line by line.
Selected. In cereal. Selected. Even with ice cream. Selected. Pancakes.
All right, now the other magical thing we can do is Alt Q. If you remember nothing else, one of the things you really want to remember is Alt Q, because it takes us to a search field where we can really search out the ribbons without having to know all those categories and upper ribbon, lower ribbon, etc. So if you press Alt Q.
Alt Q. Ribbon. Ribbon.
And now
Edit. Type in text.
I'm going to type bulleted list.
Alt B U. 10 suggestions available.
All right.
T. 4 suggestions available.
Now I'm going to arrow down.
1. Actions group. Define new bullet. 1 of 1. Get help group. Get help on actions group. Define new. Mr. Pickles dash.
I think I typed something wrong there. Hang on. I'm going to do it again.
Alt Q. B U L. 4 suggestions.
I'll just type bullets.
5 suggestions of bullet split button. 1 of 1. Create a bulleted list.
There we go. So I just typed in bullets. Sometimes it's learning what to type in that search field. And for me, it was easier just to go back and type bullets rather than, I know bulleted list will work. I think I hit a wrong key. So anyways, I typed bullets and then I arrowed down and it said best action. Listen to this again.
Bullets. Best action. Bullet split button. 1 of 1. Create a bulleted list.
All right, and that's what I want to do, right? That's the best action. I'm going to create a bulleted list, so I'll just press enter.
Enter. Mr. Pickles dash word.
All right, now let's arrow up.
Everything.
And we're going to arrow back down line by line, and here are our list.
Bullet on pizza. Bullet in cereal. Bullet even with ice cream. Bullet pancakes. His friends chuckled at his devotion.
All right, there's that list. I could also undo the last task I did with that bulleted list. And I'm going to do a Control Z to do that.
Undo. Selected. On pizza in cereal.
And it still says selected. So everything is highlighted or selected, those different foods. So this time I'm going to do Alt Q and type numbered list. All right, and it does sort of talk over and try to auto fill in what I'm typing. So that's why I'm telling you ahead. I'm going to do Alt Q, then type numbered list. Then I'm going to arrow down.
Alt Q. Ribbon. N. U. 11 suggestions of it.
I'm going to arrow down.
T. Best action. Numbering split button. 1 of 1. Create a numbered list.
All right. So
click the arrow.
That's what I want. I'm going to press enter.
Enter. Mr. Pickles.
Now let's see what we've got.
Everything. 1 on pizza. 2 in cereal. 3 even with ice cream. 4 pancakes.
So we just made a numbered list. Okay, so if you can't remember, so for example, the actual key command for a numbered list would be Alt H N, Alt H, and then the letter N after it. And again, the bulleted list command was Alt H U L. It's a little bit like jumping through hoops, right? So Alt Q is going to be your friend, very much so, right? So I'll leave it as a numbered list. We'll do that. All right, and then we're going to arrow down and think of some other things we can do here. I'm going to arrow down in the story.
His friends chuckled at his devotion, but one day, something strange happened, he began to turn green and bumpy, slowly taking...
So maybe I want green and bumpy to be the color green text for effect. Maybe we just want to be creative in that regard. So we're going to make sure we land on green and bumpy. So I'm going to put myself at the beginning of the line with a home key.
Home. T.
And I'm going to control right arrow to move ahead word by word.
Turn. Green.
Oh, and there it is right there. Green. So I'm going to select green and bumpy. But first, let's see what color this is for sure again. Insert F, and we'll hear some information, including the color of the text.
12 point. Black on white. Times New Roman.
So it's black on white. We're going to make it green. So let's select green and bumpy. So I'm going to select word by word. So reading word by word is control right arrow. Selecting word by word is control shift right arrow. I'm going to do that now.
Green and bumpy. Selected.
All right, they're selected. Again, Alt Q is going to take you to an area where I could type green text, and then I'm going to arrow down after. So Alt Q, I'm going to type green text, and then arrow down. Here we go.
Alt Q. Ribbon. Type to search G, R. 11s, E, N. 8 suggestions, X, T.
And let's
6 suggestions.
arrow down. I'm going to arrow down.
Best action group. Green. 1 of 1. Font color. To move through items, press up or down arrow.
All right, that's what I want. I want the green font color. So I'm going to hit enter.
Enter. Mr. Pickles word. Ribbon. Type to search and use the up and down arrow keys to navigate submenu.
All right, so now let me arrow up one.
His friends chuckled.
And I'm going to arrow back down.
To turn green and bumpy, slowly take.
All right, let's land on green and bumpy again.
Turn green.
There's green.
And.
I'll put myself in the middle of green and bumpy, so I'm on and. And let's see if it changed the color with the insert F to tell me.
12 point. Spring green 3 on white. Times New Roman. Normal style.
So it even gave me a type of green, spring green. You can go in and find more colors in a different method that I'll show you a little bit later. There's several ways to get into the colors, but I'll show you another rather easy one in a few minutes. All right, so we've done some bullets and numbering. We have changed some color, right? We could also change the entire color of this whole story. We could select all and do a Control A.
1050 characters.
And then we could do Alt Q and we could turn it all red like the tomato, Mrs. Tomato. So I'm going to do Alt Q, type red text, and then arrow down.
Alt Q. Ribbon. R. E. 8 suggestions available. E. 4 suggestions.
Arrow down.
Best action group. Red. 1 of 1. Font color. To move through items.
And I'm going to press enter.
And leaving menus. Mr. Pickles word.
Now keep in mind I selected everything, so even that green and bumpy, remember it was green. Now I selected the whole story, so I've changed everything red.
Blank. Blank.
Let's go to the top, Control Home.
Top. Mr. Blank.
I'm going to arrow down.
Blank. Mr. Everything.
Let's check the color. Insert F.
12 point. Red on white.
There you go.
Times.
Red on white. All right, so now this document right now, if we remember, it was double spaced. I'll just let you hear that again. Insert F.
12 point. Red on white. Times New Roman. Normal style. Line spacing : double.
All right, maybe I want this document to be single spaced. You can easily change between single and double by selecting the whole text with a Control A.
1050.
And then you can just do Control 1 for single and Control 2 for double. So I'm going to make it single. I'm going to hold down the Control key and press the number 1.
Control 1.
And it doesn't really affirm and tell you that, but however, we will see that it is. Let me arrow down a couple times.
Blank. Blank.
I'm at the bottom. Let me go to the top.
Top. Blank.
Now
blank.
arrow down a couple
Mr.
lines.
Pickles, everything. 1 on pizza.
All right,
Entering.
let me do an insert F.
12 point. Red on white. Times New Roman. List paragraph style. Line spacing : single.
All right, now it's single spaced. Now perhaps I want to center my title. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go Control Home again.
Top. Mr. Pickles is in a pickle.
Mr.
Exit
Pickles.
list.
I want this centered, so I'm going to select this title.
Mr. Period. Pickle is in a pickle.
And
Selected.
I've selected it word by word just to make sure I captured it all. And I'm going to do a Control E for centering it, okay? So Control plus the letter E at the same time, and then release.
Centered.
All right, and it even tells you that. If I want to right align it, it's still selected or highlighted, so I can do a Control R to send it over to the right.
Aligned right.
Or I could do a Control L to send it back to the left edge.
Aligned left.
Or I could justify it so it fits evenly with a Control J.
Justified.
Or I really do want this title centered, so I'm going to do a Control E again to center it.
Centered.
Okay, so I'm going to arrow down one.
Blank. Mr. Pickles is in a pickle.
Now let's do Insert F and see what it says.
12 point. Red on white. Times New Roman. Normal style. Line spacing : single. Paragraph formatting : first line indented by 0.5 inches. Centered.
Okay.
Outline level.
We heard it was centered, so that's good. Let's make sure the rest of the whole document isn't centered though. I did only select the title and centered it, but I want to show you, so I'm going to arrow down a couple times into the body of the story.
Blank, blank, Mr. Pickles, everything, one on pizza.
All right, let's do an Insert F to make sure this is not centered.
12 point. Red on white. Times New Roman. List paragraph style. Line spacing : single. Paragraph formatting : list with simple numbering. Item 1. Hanging indent of 0.25 inches. Left indent of 1 inches. Aligned left.
All right, we heard a lot of information there. Aligned left. Because we have some paragraphs, we have some lists, etc. But it is aligned left overall, the document. Let's talk about now how to, maybe we want to make the title italicized. I'm going to go back up to the top with Control Home.
Top. Mr. Pickles is in a pickle.
And
Exit list.
let's select it or highlight it.
Period.
Okay.
MR. Period. Pickles is in a pickle.
That was with
Selected.
Control Shift right arrow. If I want to highlight it, I could just do a Control. If I want to, if I want to italicize it, I could do a Control I.
Italicon.
All right. If I want to turn that back off, I'd do it again.
Italic off.
All right. Same thing. If I want to bold something here,
Bold on.
Control B or Control B again.
Bold off.
All right. So I just turned that off. Another way we can make sure we change some of the fonts and etc. on here is let's select the whole entire document with a Control A.
1023 character.
And we can easily get into some of our options with a Control D. Control D. I'm going to press that together at the same time and release.
Control D. Font dialog. Font : edit. Times New Roman. Type in text.
All right, so
Alt plus F. Tab.
so it first brings us to, what style of writing do we want this in? Right now it's in Times New Roman. Not always the best choice for some people with some limited vision. So typically a good font might be Arial. So I'm going to, you could type all Arial. If you didn't know how to spell it, you could start with like ARI and then arrow down, find Arial and then enter. There are a lot of different choices in here. I can just start arrowing up or down. I'm going to go up, let you hear this.
The serif hand light. The serif hand extra black. The serif hand black. The serif hand. The hand light. The hand extra black. The hand black. The hand. TH Sarab on PS. Teno right display. Teno right. Tempa sens it. Tahoma. Symbol. Silvain. Suez 1.
So as you can see, I'm only on the S's and arrowing up here. There's a ton. So again, Arial is a good font. So I could just, like I said, let's try typing in a portion of it. ARI.
A-R-I.
And now let's arrow down.
Arial.
And maybe that's the one I want. So if the only thing you want to change, we selected everything, all the text, Control A. Then we did a Control D. And if I only want to change the what style of writing it's in, I could just, type in ARI, arrow down to Arial, and I could hit enter here. And I would be brought back to my document and it would be in that style. But the other thing to do is press tab. I'm going to press tab.
Font style : edit combo, regular. To set the value used.
So here I know we have options, right? Regular, italic, or bold. All right. What do you want your text to look like? Regular, italic, or bold? So a lot of times when I am creating for those with low vision, I'll often make things bold so it will stand out. So you could arrow down to get to bold, or you could just type, either regular, italic, or bold. So I'm going to just type bold.
BOLD.
For me, that's
bold.
Just as quick as arrowing. Now I could press enter and I will have made my changes for the whole story. It would be in Arial and it would be bolded. But yes, we can again move on. I'm going to press tab again.
Font, edit, 12.
To
set the value, use the arrow keys or type the value.
So here you have
Tab.
The font size.
Edit
Yeah, here we have the font size, and it even told us right now it's in 12, which was helpful. So we could, arrow up and down to different sizes. I'll do that just so you can hear it.
11.
You see that it's getting smaller as I go up.
10.
I'm arrowing up.
9, 8.
Or I could go back down.
9, 10, 11, 12.
All right, so
11, 10, 11, 12.
12 can be pretty standard for regular text, but if you're making something accessible to those with vision loss, the standard is 18. So this doesn't meet that standard right now, does it? So I'm going to type 18.
1, 8.
And again, I could press enter here and I will, go back to my story and all my changes will have been made. All right. Or I could press tab again, which I'll let you hear. I'm not going to make too many more changes, but I'll show you what's here.
Font color left paren red right paren.
Again, there you have the color. Okay. And that's another way you can get to the colors, the palette, and change it.
Underline style :
we could underline.
Strike through checkbox.
Strike through.
Double strike through check. Superscript checkbox. Subscript checkbox. Small caps checkbox. All caps checkbox. Hidden checkbox.
Okay, I don't really use all this other information too much. I usually use the first three things, right? I change it to Arial, then I tab, change it to either, regular, italic, or bold, tab again, and I type the 18 if I want it in 18. But I wanted to tab just to show you after that you did get to that color palette and some other options. But I can just go ahead and press enter here.
Enter. Print. Edit.
And now let's go to the top, control home.
Top. Mr. Pickles is in a pickle.
And I'm going to arrow down and you're going to hear some of
Mr.
the
Pickles
information. I'm going to do an insert F for you to hear the different changes we made and how they took a hold. Let's listen.
Bolded. 18 point. Red on white. Arial. Normal style. Line spacing : single. Paragraph formatting : first line indented by 0.5 inches. Aligned left.
All right, we made a lot of changes, right? It took hold. So that's fabulous. The last thing we'll cover in this session is maybe we want to separate out some of our information with headings. Okay, so that's a great way if you have lengthy documents you're writing and you really want to be able to allow people to visibly see, jump to heading visually, or screen reader users love headings because they can quickly navigate to the next heading with ease and get to different sections. All right, so let's learn how to create a heading. So the first thing, let's decide, I think the title. So think of your headings like a store, and I like to use examples like Target. Okay, so headings have different levels, and they're just kind of prefabbed ways of presenting themselves. For example, a heading level 1, boom, that's like the big sign, Target. So that might be in a larger font and a different color, possibly. It doesn't have to be, right? But typically a heading level 1 has like that, boom, more importance, right? It's the store, so you know where you are. You're in Target. And then a heading level 2 might be something inside the store, like the different departments. women's apparel, men's apparel, shoes, toys. All right, so they're still important to help you to navigate around, but they are not as big as, hey, I'm in Target, right? So they're heading level 2. And then there are heading level 3s, and those would be subsequent inside maybe some of the departments. So for example, heading level 2 might have been women's apparel, but inside that, right, you might have another heading level 3. Think of that as perhaps athletic wear for women, leisure wear for women, business casual for women. So those fall in there, all right? They're important, but they're under women's apparel, which is inside Walmart. So there's that little, upside down triangle, right? You start a right side up triangle, I should say, because the point would be the nice big target, and then you get down to smaller ones. But anyways, let's make some headings. So the title should be the heading level 1, because that's the most important place of where we are. So I'm going to do a control home to go to the top.
Top. Mr. Pickles is in a pickle.
And let's select the text again, or highlight it with control shift right arrow.
MR. Period. Pickle. A. Pickle.
I want to make sure that I grab that. Now you could, select it by line, and some of this is where you land is going to be highlighted, but I just like to make sure that I have captured what I want to highlight. Now to make a heading level 1, okay, we're going to be using Alt Control. So Alt Control 1 would be a heading level 1. Alt Control 2 is a heading level 2. And Alt Control and the number 3 is heading level 3. Okay, so this is a heading level 1, so I'm going to hold down the Alt key plus the Control key at the same time and add a number 1 all together and then release.
Alt Control 1.
Okay, now I'm going to arrow down once and then arrow back up on it so you can see.
Blank. Heading level 1, Mr. Pickles is in a pickle.
All right, but now let's check out the insert F of some of that font information.
20 point. Dark slate gray on white. Aptus display. Heading 1 style. Line spacing : double. Paragraph formatting : first line indented by 0.5 inches. Aligned left. Outline level : 1.
It changed some of the things for me, didn't it? Excuse me. So it changed it to 20. It changed it back to double spaced. It's aligned to left. So this is why I like to do maybe all of my creation and then insert bullets and numbering and headings. And then at the end you do your, if you need to make universal, some changes, do those as you get near the end. So I want to center this text again. So it's still highlighted. I'm going to do a Control E.
Centered.
I really don't mind that it's 20 point. I'll leave that for today, but I could do Alt D.
Control D. Font dialog.
Excuse me.
Font : edit combo. Plus headings.
All right, so it's not in Arial anymore. I'm going to type ARI.
ARI. Arial.
And there's my Arial. I'm going to tab.
Font. Edit. Regular.
It's in regular. I got to put it back to bold. I'm going to type bold.
BOFD.
I'm going to tab
bold.
Again.
Font. Edit. 20.
And the size is 20. I'll just hit enter here.
Enter. OK button. Print.
All right, now let me make sure
heading level 1, Mr. Pickles is
that we have our information. Insert F. Sorry, insert
bolded.
F.
20 point. Dark slate gray on white. Arial. Heading 1 style. Line spacing : double. Paragraph formatting : first line indented by 0.5 inches. Centered. Outline.
All right, that's pretty good. So I can live with that. I'm going to arrow down.
Blank. Mr. Pickles was a cheerful fellow who loved pickles so much that he ate them with everything.
All right, I'm going to go down to that list.
1 on pizza.
All right, so
pickles so much that he ate them with everything.
He ate them with everything. I'm going to arrow, control right arrow, word by word, to get to the end of everything. Or I can just do the end of the line by hitting end key by itself. I'm going to go to the end of this line and hit end.
End. blank.
And I'm going to hit enter to go down a line.
Enter.
And now let's make sure I have a space there.
1 on pizza, blank.
We do.
Exit list.
I want to give this list a title. I'm going to say examples. I'm going to call it examples.
EXAMPLES.
Colon. And now I'm going to make sure I'm at the beginning of this examples word.
Home. E.
All right. I'm going to now make this a heading level 2. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure that line's selected, which I'm pretty sure it is, but I get a little OCD, so I'm going to do a shift arrow down.
Selected. Examples colon.
All right.
Entering list.
And now I'm going to do Alt Control 2. Alt Control 2.
Alt Control 2.
All right. Now I'm going to arrow down off it and then back up on it.
1 on heading level 2 examples colon.
All right. And we arrow down.
List. 1 on pizza. 2 in cereal. 3 even with ice cream. 4 pancakes. His friends chuckled at his devotion, but 1
All right. That's good. We've made a heading level 1 and a heading level 2. All right, so, and we should have the rest of this document single spaced, red, bold. Let's see what it is. Insert F.
Bolded. 18 point. Red on white. Arial. Normal style. Line spacing colon single. Paragraph formatting colon first line indented by 0.5 inches. Aligned left. Outline level colon body text.
All right. So I am going to remember along the way to save your work, okay, because you don't want to forget and then lose some of your information. So you want to really save your work, and I'm going to do that now with just doing Control S. I've already created this document.
Control S.
All right, so it saves. If you hadn't saved your document yet, you could have done an F12, which brings you to save as, and you can give it a title there and hit enter. Especially if you want to keep the master document, you could do a save, like, so the master document might be Mr. Pickles is in a pickle. And if you wanted to work off that without losing the original, you could do an F12, which is save as, keeps the original. And then you have save as, you could call it, Mr. Pickles is in a pickle, draft 1 or something like that. Okay, and then save that. So you might have the original and then you have the new copy. So I will conclude here in this portion of the lesson. So we have learned how to make bulleted lists, numbered lists. We've learned to select some text and center it, align it left, right, justify it. We have learned to single space and double space. We've learned to change some of the fonts to Arial or any other font you wish, bold it, change the text size. We learned to italicize, etc. Alt Q is going to be one of your best friends in Microsoft key commands across applications, because you can search those ribbons with anything you can think of. If it doesn't come up with an answer that you like, just rephrase your wording, right? So Alt Q, type your search, and then arrow down to find your best answer. When you find it, you hit enter, and then you'll have your change made that you've done. So I thank you for joining us for this tech topic, and I hope you will come back for more.